Spurs, United, Chelsea
Oh,
City,
okay.
Arsenal.
All right, bet. So welcome to another episode of Africans Talk Football. It's good to be back with my boys. How's everybody feeling tonight?
Feeling good,
Pretty
man.
good,
Feeling
man.
good.
Good. Just want to again just say shout out to all of our friends out there, all of our supporters who may be watching live with us or just are catching us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or if you out here watching our YouTube episodes the day after they
Yeah, man,
Mad
post,
love.
shout out because I know we be on here for like like 90 minutes, 2 hours sometimes.
for sure.
But we really do appreciate the support and how you guys are just commenting on our socials and letting us know that you're actively watching with us. Because I mean we're gonna watch every weekend anyway, so it's fun to have other people chime in and talk to us about what we've all watched this previous weekend. But Premier League season, it's shaping up to be one of those seasons. Look at the top four teams right now. There's only, I believe, 4 points that separates one from four. Um, the top 10 it looks a lot different than what I thought it would be, to be honest, especially this deep into the season. We're about a third of the way through already. So just to see, who's filling up those top 10 spots is crazy. We always do our predictions on who we believe will finish in the top 10 and then who we think will get relegated. So as we approach the midweek or the mid season, it's actually interesting to see how the table is shaping up so far. This week we have another international break, so no games this weekend, but then we'll come back the week of Thanksgiving. Um, or I guess after the week of things, or actually during the week of Thanksgiving with some more marquee matches. But today, kind of just wanted to start from the top. Um, Obviously, talk about our teams, but Tottenham, tough loss, man. A
Hmm.
very tough loss. 2 goals scored in extra time, the 91st and the 97th. I mean, I don't want to say it, but it's very Spursy. I
They got to
don't
taste
know.
their own medicine.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys were able to watch highlights, but with all these injuries to Spurs, obviously they had a very strong start to the season. Shout out their manager, who I believe is the first Premier League manager to win 3 Managers of the Month in a row consecutively, um, which is huge. No, I mean, honestly, he deserves it. He's come to the Prem, and I know there's a little bit of politics that gets played into it as well, but I feel like he's coming to the Prem
Yeah.
and kind of taking it by storm. A lot of teams did not expect Tottenham to be this strong, especially with losing Harry Kane, their prolific goal scorer. And shout out Kane. He's doing his thing over in Bayern as well right now. He's been on a tear, so it's good to see both. That partnership was very good, but it's good to see both of them actually seeing some success away from each other as well. But with Tottenham, tough loss this week. What do you what do you guys think this does to their momentum? Do you think this because this is a tough loss, I ain't gonna lie to you. 2-1 away from home. They played pretty well up until, the injury time. Um, do you think with such I wouldn't call them a young team, but a lot of them are new to the Prem. They have a lot of new players to the Prem. A lot of them first time under a new manager type thing. What do you think this does for the morale of the team?
Um, I mean, I said this like earlier in the season. Their starting 11's great. Like the signings that they made, if their starting 11's healthy, they're going to be doing what they've been doing for the past 11 games, pretty much. But I've said Madison, he's going to get his annual one. Um, and they have guys in the squad that they really can't afford to lose. And unfortunately, they lost two guys that are integral to this team. Like Van der Ven completely changed this defense. Completely. Like definitely one of the top center backs in the Prem for me. James Madison, the level he's been performing at, I mean, top notch. And they lost two of those players in, in a couple minutes. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, that's what it is, and this team is now going to look completely different to me because they lost players in their spine. They lost their 10, and they lost their center back, and I talk about the spine all the time. you lose players in your spine, your team's gonna look completely different. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely Spursy for them to get 2 goals scored on in, that quick succession, especially in extra time. But I mean, looking forward, I don't think either of these players, and I think Richarlison's out too. He's out for like a month as well.
Yeah.
So, and Andrew was saying that, he doesn't think Van der Ven's gonna come, or he doesn't think Van der Ven's gonna come back until the new year. Madison's out for a bit, Richarlison's out for a month. Those are 3 players you desperately need in the squad. And everyone's dealing with injuries right now, but this definitely changes their outlook. This team's gonna drop points now, 10,000%. Just off, even if they didn't even have Madison, just off the strength of Van der Ven, a player they just cannot afford to lose for months. So great start, but unfortunately injuries are definitely going to hinder kind of their success. And I'm sure this is the first of many results we'll see like this. Maybe not, in the last second, but we'll see some more results where some points drop that we didn't expect them to drop.
Yeah, I think the loss to Van der Ven and Madison, both arguably, along with Declan Rice, probably signings of the season.
For sure.
So, I mean, I think with Spurs, I think like losing those 2 is going to hurt. I mean, like, they're also out. Richarlison is also not playing as well, too. He recently just had groin surgery, and he's going to be out for a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to struggle with those absentees, but hopefully the manager can get the backing in January. I think that he's deserved, a little bit of kind of room to warrant more players. So hopefully he can get, more players to kind of help support their season's push. If they have more depth, I think this is a team that could definitely make a European spot. But now, I mean, without Van der Ven, it's back to Eric Dyer. It's back to, Davinson Sanchez is gone now. Who's the other center back there? I mean, Ben Davies is there.
Eric Dyer.
Eric Dyer, Ben Davies.
Romero.
The drop off from Van der Ven to Eric Dyer's.
Yeah. I mean, Højbjerg, he's not really playing, but sometimes he'll slot in at center back. So, I mean, I think that those losses are definitely going to hurt this team. And, also, too, I'm looking at, like, how are you going to get Son the ball? You know what I'm saying? In, like, those dangerous areas. So, yeah, it's slow for Spurs right now.
Yeah. I don't know. The 2024 is looking dark for them. I'm not gonna lie.
But you know what's crazy is like every team has kind of, I won't say every team, but most teams have kind of like hit their like a lull period. I feel like Chelsea, your guys' kind of start to the season has been like that. You guys may be on the up and up. For United, I mean, just like everyone else, we have players out with injury. We also haven't been playing well, but, we're managing to find wins. So now with Spurs, like, hey, man, they had a fantastic start of the season. The next few months, like Gabriel said, I won't say months, the next few weeks will be very telling. So January is around the corner. So,
transfer window's here. That's for sure. Here soon.
Yeah, January is way closer. I feel like this weird that this year just flew by. But a team that had a bounce back. I don't know if it was officially called a GRG or not, but they needed a Premier League bounce back, and they got it. 3-1 win against Burnley this past weekend. Arsenal got back in their winning ways with the midweek win as well. So it looks like, this is arguably the second best team in the league. Fully healthy, these guys are good. Obviously, they challenged for the title last year against City. It was a two-legged race for most of the year. And, they're coming back and they want to at least repeat the success they had last year. Top 4. I'm sure they want to win some sort of silverware, but they're looking for the Prem title. 3-1, a big win, and not the same usual goal scorers. I was actually just looking at the highlights. 2 defenders scored this past week, Saliba and Zinchenko. and then they had the goal from Trossard as well. Your big takeaways from the game, G?
No, like real big takeaways. Just it was needed. Like I called GRG a while ago. I was like, listen, this is a game where it's a struggling Burnley side. We're at home. We need to dominate, and we need to win regardless of who's out there, because I think we're just levels ahead of this Burnley team. So to go out there and see the boys actually, dominate possession. We're finally they played a low block, so it was tough for us, especially with us missing some players too. Tough for us to kind of beat that low block in a sense, but we got the breakthrough in the first half, which at the end of the first half, which opened up the game. And they ended up getting a goal, but we bounced right back a couple minutes later, and then we got a third. This is what I expect, or I expected, I would say. And this is what I expect when we play teams like Burnley, and just teams on the lower half of the table, especially at home. Like we need to dominate. These should be games to get us back in our groove, get us back in our, get the vibes high again, and then all of those things. So I don't really have too much to say. Just happy about the win. Happy to get back on the winning track in the Prem, because it's been weird for us in the Prem recently. So happy to get back on the winning side, especially before the international break. Definitely good vibes. So yeah, man, just happy about the win. No like real big standouts or anything like that. Just good team win.
Did you think the Fabio Vieira red was a red?
Yeah, 10,000. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's unfortunate. I don't think it was. He didn't do it maliciously. It wasn't like he was trying to harm him. But listen, the studs are up. It's high.
It's a wrap. It's
a red, bro. I'm sorry. Like after like so many fouls we've seen this season, and reds have been given for less. I fully expected it. And I would say I'm more frustrated. The call is the call, but I'm just sad that we're struggling for midfielders right now.
I was going to ask that.
Partey he's out for the season now, so he's gone. Smith Rowe is gone for a little bit. We have Jorginho, we have Declan Rice, but after that, it's really Odegaard's out as well. We have El Neni coming in, but it's like, come on, we know the levels. We know the levels of that. So yeah, so it sucks, because now you're out for 3 matches, and like we need you. This is like, it's not even a case of like, oh, like we really don't have another player to come in and do us a service, or that is of your quality to come off the bench and kind of raise the level when we need it to. And that's what really sucks about it now. So luckily, our next 3 matches aren't like super tough. We're not playing any teams like in the top 5, top 6, but at the same time, it's like, bro, we need you for not just numbers wise to give some guys some rest, because we're injured all over the place. We have injuries in the front 3. We have injuries, in the midfield. And luckily we're fine defensively right now, but yeah, man, mid-wise we're struggling. And that's why I think, since Partey happened, our focus is to go get a mid or 2 in January. It's absolutely like it's a must. We have to go buy in January, because Partey is gone. Jorginho is, I'm sorry, but we just can't afford to rely on Jorginho all the time. And yeah, Declan Rice, he has to get some rest too. We can't just run that guy into the ground. So yeah, it sucks numbers wise for me. I wasn't even like, the red is the red, whatever. But at this current moment, it sucks, because we really need you. Like, if we haven't needed you like any other time in your Arsenal career, this is like the one time that we really need you. And now you're gone for 3 matches. So I mean, he can play in Champions League and stuff like that, but I don't even think we have any Champions League matches until the end of the year. So yeah, it sucks for those purposes, but yeah, he's got to live with it. Everyone's dealing with some type of injury, or players not being in the squad. I mean, Newcastle this past weekend, we saw them. They almost have a starting 11 of players out. You know what I mean? So we just got to deal with it, cope, and guys got to step up. Unfortunately, I mean not unfortunately, but just guys have to step up. That's why you're on the team. You're here to play. When we need you, we're gonna need you. So I just hope our guys step up. We're definitely going to need some minutes from some guys who haven't gotten minutes in a bit. And it might be some academy players who might get their opportunity too, which is dope. Cozier Dewberry was on the bench the other day. I think Waniri Ethan was on the bench the other day too. So I would love to see, if we get in the groove and we get up a little bit, some of the academy guys, maybe make a debut, get their start. But yeah, it sucks for numbers purposes.
Yeah, I know. So I mean, I know you've always been talking about signing another striker. We see the rumors with Tony. As far as midfielders, has there been any rumblings about who y'all would potentially go after, or is there somebody you think that would fit the squad well?
Yeah, I personally I know this is like our number one target right now is Douglas Luiz. It's been like a thing. It's been known, and we wanted Douglas Luiz last January. Last January we were pushing for him to get him, and I think he would be a great midfielder for us. I think he fits our DNA. He fits our team well. I feel like there really wouldn't. I mean, he's prem proven at this point, and I don't feel like there would be any drop off. I feel like this is a player in Douglas Luiz who would come in and immediately start right next to Declan Rice. And this is a player that can play the 6 to 8, multiple different roles, and yeah, he just fits our profile of player. I've wanted Douglas Luiz since last year, so I really want Douglas Luiz. We're looking at a guy from I can't think of his name right now. Is it like a 20-year-old from? I think he might be in like Spain or something like that. I can't forget his name, but Arteta rates him highly. And we're looking at him, and then also we're looking at bringing Ruben Neves back to the Prem from Saudi, which honestly I wouldn't be mad about that either, because he is just a dead set 6, a leader, captain. He was a former captain of Wolves. Great player, still has tons of miles left on him. He's still younger as well. So I would love to bring in Ruben Neves as well if we can. I think he fits our identity. We've been linked to him in years past as well. We didn't get him, but I would love to. If we brought in Ruben Neves and Douglas Luiz,
That's dangerous.
Yeah,
I feel like those.
Yeah,
Ruben Neves were linked to him before.
Yeah, we're linked to him. I don't think it was. I think it was either last season or the season before that. Yeah, 2 years ago. But if we brought in those two midfielders, it'd be great. I think it'd be a little easier maybe to get Ruben Neves back over. But I know Villa doesn't want to part ways with Douglas Luiz, and I know that's going to be a tough buy, especially in January, because the window's so short. It's only a month, so if we can somehow pull it off, I know it's going to be. It's going to be some bread, and unfortunately, we might not be able to pay for Tony because you already know FPP rules. We're already kind of in limbo with that, and we have to sell some players even if we want to buy in January. So, yeah, or it's financial fair play, FFP. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be an interesting window for us because we have to buy. It's actually like it's a necessity. We have to buy, but yeah, I think that some of the players that we're linked to, the guy, the 20-year-old, I can't remember his name. I really wish I could. I don't know too much about him, but Ruben Neves and Douglas Luiz, I know a lot about them. I like both players. I wouldn't be mad about either of them coming in. I would rather take Luiz, but I wouldn't be mad about either of those players coming in. And I still do want a striker. I would love to bring Tony in, but the way the money and FFP and all this other stuff, you're crazy. All this other stuff, I don't think it's looking less likely right now, to say the least. So yeah, but I'm happy about the win. I'm happy about where we're going. I just hope that these guys can stay healthy throughout the international break. That's like my main concern, because I know Southgate's probably going to run Saka into the ground once again. So, and Declan, I feel better about Declan Rice, playing 90 minutes, but Saka takes too many hits and too many fouls on him. So I just hope that these guys can stay healthy because I mean, winter is coming, and winter is when prems are won a lot of the time. So especially with this race, it's tight right now. It's very, very tight. So I just hope that these guys can stay healthy and we can come back looking good.
No, I feel that. It's I mean, you talked about Newcastle. I just feel like everyone has been playing a lot more games than what they're used to. There was a shorter summer, obviously, because of the World Cup. And eventually all these miles they rack up, if you're not taking care of your body. And I mean, there's the most athletes in the world. So of course they're taking care of their bodies, but sometimes it's just that wear and tear overall. we got Papa over here talking about celebrating a draw. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Right. We're not even there yet. We're not even there yet.
We're not even there yet. And it's not a loss, baby. It's not a loss. But yeah, I mean, these games, there's just so many more games being played. And then even next year, as we're going to get, the new format of the Champions League, it's going to be another 4 or 5 added games if you're in that competition. So it's going to be interesting to see how teams and staffs take care of their players, because like you said, if you lose 2 or 3 guys, your whole season can take a change, for the worse. So at this point, depth is very, very important. And, health is wealth. Health has always been wealth.
10,000.
But, moving along, it's funny because we had nobody lose this week. So Salam, I know he's been very, very critical of this Manchester United team. So it's good to see.
I don't know how you're doing it, bro. I really don't know how you guys are doing it.
Doing what?
Bro, it's
guys are crazy because you look on the table and
you guys have 13 goals for and 16 against, and somehow you're 5th.
It makes
make sense.
It makes no sense to me. They're 6th place right now behind Aston Villa.
6.
Yeah, but it's still like, it seems like they're playing so bad. Like, so
they are
bad.
playing bad. Like,
and somehow above us on the table. It makes no sense to me. Like, literally no sense. But yeah, man. Actually, now that I'm looking at the table, there's only 2 points that separate 1st place and 4th place. City 28, Liverpool 27, Arsenal 27, Spurs 26, and then Villa's in 5th place at 25. So really only 3 points separate 1st place and 5th place right now. I mean, this has probably been one of the closest races, at least 12 matches through the season. I know last year was pretty close, but 3 points separating the top 5 is interesting. But United 1-0 win to Luton, and I actually did not watch the match, but I was just watching highlights not too long ago, and I'm not going to lie to you, Onana looked great. Onana actually saved you guys for a few of those goals. I mean, he made some massive saves that honestly would have changed the whole match. And knowing that you guys don't score goals, you obviously needed to make sure that you were solid in defense. But
for sure,
scrappy goal. Got it off a corner, I believe. And then you had to defend for another 30 minutes, which I feel like you guys aren't very great at doing, especially when you go up with these very, very tight leads.
Yeah.
Usually we see an equalizer on the other end, but I mean, y'all got the job done. Protected home base. How was this win? Because obviously it's Luton, so we're not going to gas it, but a win is a win. You need every 3 points you can get.
Yeah, I mean, a win is a win. Unfortunately for us, the 3, I guess teams that were expecting to get relegated, Sheffield, Luton, and Burnley, were very tight 1-0 victories. Those games were, we were working in this game versus Luton, and it took for a Victor Lindelof goal for us to get the 3 points. But I think, again, man, as I've been saying, I think that this is just kind of where we are as a team. We're very consistent. We don't have the players to play the manager style, but it's also backwards because the manager has also brought in some of these players. So if they're not able to play your style, I'm not quite sure why why some of these guys are here. Um, but again, I think the 3 points is what's important. I think heading into this international break, the biggest thing for us is that our players that are hurt have to come back as soon as possible. I know Casemiro, Lissandro, they're not going to be out until probably December, maybe December. I'm expecting them to be back in January, but until then, I mean, I think it's just, patching together performances to get as many points as possible. You got to give credit when it's due. I got to give credit to someone like Harry Maguire. He's actually been playing well. He's been playing decent. I never thought I would say this, but Harry Maguire seems to be in form. So I think, and
Facts.
he's been solid for us. You gotta,
He has.
in what's been an inconsistent season, a turbulent season already. He seems to be one of the more steady, consistent players this season. So you got to give him credit, especially for everything that he's gone through. So props to him, props to the manager. But for me, man, I think that we're really not gonna see anything change until we get this new director of football in, and we start getting some of these guys out. Like I said last week, when you look at all these other projects, Arsenal, Chelsea, City when Pep came, Liverpool when Klopp came, they were able to, gut the squad, cleanse the squad, and get in the guys that they wanted. And unfortunately for us, we have a lot of players from a lot of different managers, and unless we can come in and cleanse the squad, I don't think that we're not going to get any further than where we are now. There's a lot of teams that are miles ahead of us, and it's because their players are simply just better than ours.
It's true, but I mean, bro, like we were just saying before you even got into it, like we talk about this a lot, like even last year, how it's not just about the wins, it's about how you win sometimes, and the route that you take to get there, and no, I don't feel like your style of winning is sustainable. But I mean, we're third through the season, and this is probably some of the worst football I've seen United play just in my lifetime. And somehow you still managed to be 6 points off the top.
Is it really the worst though? I just feel like
this is some of the worst football I've seen you guys play in my entire lifetime.
But it's just like, it's crazy because it's like I'm not disagreeing with you. Like I'm not saying that it's not necessary. I'm not saying that it's a good style, it's a good brand, but like I've watched the Ole era. This era, I'm not saying necessarily is better or worse than that, but like when you look at this manager, he's like in his first 50 games, when you look at like, I just feel like it's like a narrative. And I just feel like it's like the narrative of like, oh, this season is so bad, which kind of overshadows like what it actually is. Because when you look at it, when you look at Klopp, Arteta, Pep, and Ten Hag, he has the most wins in the first like 50 games.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You have to take it with a grain of salt, because it's not like you guys get results, and and it's weird. That's what I'm saying. It's weird because at the same time, you're not playing I guess it's not the brand of United football that I'm used to seeing. That's a better statement. But somehow you're week in, week out, you're somehow able to smash and grab, bro. How many matches this year have it's been a smash and grab? Like, all right, but 80th minute,
like your point, it's been like that for years though. But I feel at this point, I feel you though, because like now it's just really like it's literally like you just think like, where's the goal gonna come from? Where like there is no like, and I think it's just with the personnel that we have, man. And some of these guys we really need to step up, and at this point I'm really questioning if they can. Like I don't even guys like that, Amrabat, I don't know what happened to him. Like I don't know, like what's going on with like Hoyland. For some reason, it's just like he's cursed. He just can't score in the Premier League. What is
He
that,
cannot.
bro? He began so close. It's just like you know what? I just don't.
Or he
I don't
scores
get
and
it.
it gets taken back.
Yeah, like I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Rashford, it is what it is. Bruno's been missing. Mason Mount, like what? Mason Mount, like I just, and then our guys, like, when you look at all these signings, because we were talking about this before, right? How, what is it? Sancho, Martial, and who was the other one? Anthony.
Anthony.
It's just
I
like
guess so.
none of these guys have worked out. All three of you guys, in your own way, just haven't really like panned out, and it's just, I don't know, it's frustrating, man. It's we just got to get a bunch of these guys out of here, man, and like. I agree, Gabriel. We're not really used to the playing the way that I feel like I'm traditionally used to, but once we get better players, I think that'll change.
Yeah, I mean, if we're being completely honest, bro, it's not like you're far off because you're getting results.
Nah,
Like
bro,
we just said,
far off.
you're far off, but at the same time, you look at it, how far off you're 6 points off the top with 13 goals scored. I think you're in. I looked at it. I think you're in the bottom 5 or bottom 6 of total goals scored in the league. In the league, you're bottom 5 or bottom 6 in goals scored, and yet here you are in 6th place, bro. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
bro, we need at least 7 players, 8 players into the team.
I agree, but somehow it's working. Somehow, something in this form, Salam. But if you go through the season and say, yeah, we played terribly the whole time, but we finished top 4, like it's yes.
No, I hear you.
It's crazy. That's what I'm saying. This is like one of the most absurd things I've honestly seen.
Glazers, man. It's the Glazers. Stop. The Glazers.
It's crazy.
The Glazers.
I feel like even
13
when y'all had
goals?
Ole, it was kind of like this too. Like you guys just managed to win, and it never looked pretty, but you guys would get dubs. So it's like
this is a 13 goals is insane.
But I think that I think when you bring in someone that has like a footballing background, like someone like when Ragnick came in, I think it's very easy to identify that like this team really needs like a lot of new players for us to find consistent success, because we're far off of the top. I think that these that's why we'll never be competitive in the league, because we'll never find that consistency to develop like a rhythm to consistently compete week in, week out. We can't do that because we don't have the players that have the ability or the mentality to do that.
So we were talking about this a little bit earlier. Since the January window's coming up, we might as well talk about it. Sancho, Anthony, and Martial. Rumors are there on the chopping block.
All of them.
So I mean, with those 3 players, truthfully, what do you think you get from them value wise? And then, because I mean, Anthony, he's 100. He's 100 mil flop or 85, whatever you guys spent on him. Obviously, he's not worth as much as what you bought him for. But if those 3 were to go, what do you think you get from those players, and who would you like to see? Obviously, you need players, but who would you like to see? Who do you think fits what United is trying to build right now?
It's hard to say, man. I think if you were to put like a value on it, I think United would just have to accept that like they're taking a loss with some of these guys.
10,000.
So
no one's
honestly, if I could get like, and it'd be hard to even come up with this, but like if I could get 80 million for all 3,
I was going to say 100. I was going to say you, bro. I mean, realistically,
30 million a piece. They're not 35 million a piece. They're not.
They're not. Sancho, we haven't seen play all year. Anthony hasn't done anything, and Martial also haven't really seen him play all year.
Dang, you really think you're going to get less than 80?
29-year-old injury prone?
I mean, it would just be more of like you could, with that money, you could break it up and get 2 players that that I don't know. and it's hard to say like a player, like who could fit this team. Well, here's
You
the
need a
thing.
new team, so
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like we definitely need. That's the thing, though, man. It's hard to say. Like I think that we do need like a new like a backup 10, but we have Mason Mount, so it's hard to say that. Like I think we need two players that are going to play on the right side for sure, because Rashford's going to play on the left. I think Hoyland's going to start up front. A backup striker would be nice. Maybe 3 center mids would be nice. You know what I'm saying? I just think that the guys with personality, like Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, they're already on teams. Even guys like Caicedo, Fernandez, we need to find a guy that's like that. Who is that? I don't know. That's whoever the next up and coming center mid is. I'll take him.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I told you over the summer that Mason Mount, that's the best 60 we ever finessed in a long time. I mean, and it's sad because I love to see all my boys do well. I mean, I look over in Italy, Loftus-Cheek is doing his thing. He's found a new resurgence, even though Pulisic has been hurt. He started off he started off pretty well this year. But it's sad, one, I don't want to ever root for my guy on the against Chelsea when he's in another Prem shirt. So it's bittersweet to see what he's doing right now. It's honestly bittersweet to see, because I want him to do well, but he's just not the guy. I think he was Chelsea's golden boy. He rose up through the ranks, the academy, but I mean, you used to say this. What's his best position? What does he do best?
Who's this?
Mason Mount.
Mason Mount. I think he has to. Papa's crazy. I think he has to reinvent himself in a sense. Like he needs to just, someone needs to stick him in a role, and he needs to just work on that role, because I feel like he's trying to be an 8 and a 10, and it's just like, bro, just
I don't know what he is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he needs to find his identity. And I mean, Ten Hag has something to do with that as well, like kind of telling him, okay, this is what I need you to do, and this is what I want you to focus on. But yeah, I mean,
he's fine as a backup player, though. That's the thing. Like, he's fine as a backup player. He's fine as a role player.
70's not backup player money, though, fam.
Exactly, but that's why you have to look at the manager and say, like, why are we spending, like, when we need so many other needs? Like, why are we buying a player of his profile? It doesn't make sense. You have to ask. You got to ask the manager that, but it doesn't make any sense.
Interesting. 13 goals, 16 against, still top 6.
5th place.
Hey. That's honestly a miracle.
There needs to be a documentary.
Our schedule it's very tough.
But yeah, it's about to get real treacherous for y'all. That's for sure.
We got to see Chelsea soon. Yeah, Newcastle. These teams, we have to make sure that we're prepared, because Newcastle, actually, I'm actually looking forward to seeing them. I think, we're kind of level. I mean, if they put out the same team that they put out against who was it?
Who they played this past week?
I forgot, but they pulled up on
Bournemouth. Yeah, they lost 2-0 against Bournemouth.
They pulled up on Kieran
Trippier. They put up on him crazy.
You know how many injuries we have? Oh man. Do you think Ten Hag has too much pressure to produce results and no time to give players time to develop like Mount? How does one balance that?
That's a great question, Papa.
That is a great question.
I think it's
personally. Go ahead.
Well, I think it's been a little tough for Mount because he got injured early into his United career, so that's a setback, just in and of itself. But at the same time, I feel like Ten Hag has established himself as one of those managers who's going to be like, listen, you're either going to listen or you're going to go. And a player like Mount and a manager just like Ten Hag should just stick with him. I know you have to get results and you have to do this, but if this is going to be your guy, this is going to be your guy. And I feel like I'm going through that right now with Kai Havertz. Like this is just going to be our guy. This guy is just going to start. It's not even like and I know we're in like kind of two different situations right now, and we're looking at two different teams, and we have, I guess, different expectations on the season. But if you're gonna go buy a guy and get that guy, you have to ride that guy until it's like evidently clear that this is not working. Like Anthony, he played him a lot until it was like, this just isn't working simply. And I feel like, if this is a player that you're gonna invest in financially and emotionally in the team, then you need to back him for a bit, and give him that confidence, whether through thick and thin. And if he doesn't come out the other side, then then it's time to drop him. But I think it is a tough balance. But I mean, he has the control to play him as much as he wants to. So I feel like he should, if he's going to play him, then just play him. Let him go through the mistakes. Let him go through the ups and downs, and let him find his form. You got to let him do that.
Yeah, to piggyback what Gabriel said, I agree. I think the injury came at a very inopportune time, but I also believe that it's been something that's been lingering. I mean, even for Chelsea, if you looked at the end of his last season, he was hurt. Apparently, he passed his physical or whatever when he went to United, but there's been something there. So I feel like with him, you kind of just have to give him the time to fully recover. With a team like United, there are expectations. So regardless of whether we want to give him time to get better, they bought him for a reason, to produce results. And there's expectations when you put on a United shirt. There's expectations when you put on a Chelsea shirt, expectations when you put on an Arsenal shirt. So yeah, I mean, obviously we need to give him time to get better and to understand, okay, this is, a new system for me. I'm playing with new guys. I want to figure out what my role is. But at the end of the day, 60 million ain't cheap. They bought you for a reason, and you kind of have to produce. I feel like we should give him this year, not as grace, but we got to have to let him fully immerse himself in the team. And like Gabriel said, that's up to the manager to figure out what he thinks the best position is for him, when he thinks the best time for him to play. And, hopefully it all works out, but it's tough. That's kind of, what being a manager brings. And when you have a price tag on someone, another player who's come up through, the Chelsea club. He's one of the players that the national team has been pushing as one of the next guys. It's hard when he's just not on the pitch and being able to play.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, I mean, to your guys' point, I just think that this guy is. I understand that he has to produce results. I think that's why he chose that he had to bring in a guy like Mason Mount. In terms of his development, I feel like this is almost as good as it's going to get. I really don't see Mount really hitting any more gears after like this, what he is. So I don't know. I think that's on the manager. This is the guy that he thought could help him get the most results, and he has to own that. He has to play him. So it's just, if he was a 30 million, 25 million squad player, this wouldn't be an issue. But the fact that he's 60 million and he's not even playing, that's a problem. So that's on the manager.
Yeah, I agree.
Good question.
But yeah, that was actually a great question. Good looks, Papa. But back to the Mandem marquee match of the weekend. And I'm sorry, I wish our boy Solo was here so we could talk about this game, because I truly you've been waiting to bring that back up again.
Yeah, definitely been waiting.
No, they gotta celebrate this.
Nah, he's right though. Y'all. Mike was acting as if you guys won the
Prem,
the FA Cup. You guys were crazy. The boys gave everything. Wow.
No, man, and I said this last week. I thought we could sneak City. I truly was. I truly said I think we can sneak City. The game had to go perfect, and we had to play very, very well. But at the end of the day, like Salam said before we hopped on. You can see the vision. You can low key see what's going on, and I think Poch got everything right. 4-4. I mean, the game had everything. It had goals. The
Match of the
officiating was
season.
actually good. It was back and forth. Lead change, draw, lead change, draw, lead change, draw. I mean, you really can't ask for much more. To be honest, I hate watching matches in public because I get physically upset about Chelsea, especially if we're not winning. And so and so I hit my boy up. Shout out Zion again. He's a big Manchester City fan. We watched the game at at a pub downtown Cleveland. It's called Old Angle. It's a soccer pub. Only about 10, 15 of us in there. It was split half and half Chelsea and City fans. So it was cool just to watch the game in that type of atmosphere, but I'm not gonna hold you. I was frustrated. I was frantic the whole time. I'm getting up after every bad play. I'm screaming after every goal. When they score, I'm sitting down and not saying anything. It was a very, very good, very, very good environment. But what I will say is this Chelsea team, Salam just talked about he's going to have a rough stretch of matches coming up. If you look at this Chelsea team going back a month from the Arsenal game, we haven't lost against any of the top four teams. 2-2 draw against Arsenal. I mean, that 1-1 draw against Liverpool, first match of the year. It was the first match of the year. So it's kind of a temperature check to see where you're at. But you look at Arsenal, 2-2. You look at the Tottenham match, we won that 4-1. You look at the City match, we drew 4-4. So this is what I've been asking for the entire last couple of years. We have to get results against the top team if we want to have any resemblance of winning the league or even winning a trophy. And right now we're not in the space to win the league. We're not there yet. We're definitely not one of the teams that's going to be competing for the title. I don't think we're there yet. But when we get results against the top four teams, when you put 4 goals on a Tottenham, when you are able to get 4 goals on a City, it's inspiring. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we've wanted to see for definitely the last 2 years. I can't tell you the last time Chelsea scored 4 goals in back-to-back matches. It just doesn't happen. It really doesn't happen. We're usually a defensive team, and we've had our issues scoring in the last 2-3 years. So for me to see back-to-back games where we score 4 goals, I mean, I really can't get mad at it. I'm not celebrating this draw, but this is a huge result. Huge, huge result. I still think we could have taken the game from City, but it's one of those matches that went back and forth. So I'm not going to say we should have won or we deserve to win, because that was honestly proper Prem. It was the best match of the season. Like I said, officiating was good, goals, and everyone looked up for the match. And that's what I've been saying. Poch is going to have his growing pains, but you have to get the players up for the big matches. And when I see that happen, that gives me the hope that, further down the road, this will be a team that's going to be competing for titles, competing for trophies, looking to do the double, because it's a mentality thing. I mean, we've lost a lot of bad games. Look at our record. We're 4-4-4. I think that tells a perfect tale of our season. 4 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses.
Jay-Z team.
You know what I'm saying? Talk about it. So it's good to see that we're getting results in probably the toughest part of our season thus far. We still have to see Newcastle when we come back from international break. We still see United in about 3 weeks. We see Brighton as well in between those 2 matches. So it's not like we're out of the woods yet. We still have to play some of the best teams in the league. But for me, it's good to see that, 1, we can get up for the good games. 2, we're getting goals out of Nicholas Jackson, Cole Palmer. We're getting goals out of the players that are supposed to be scoring goals. I still need more out of Raheem Sterling. I still think that he should be one of the leaders. He should be leading by example, and that means goals and assists. But it's good to see Sterling get a goal against his old team. I really couldn't ask for more. 2 penalties, 1 on each side, so those cancel each other out, and then 3 goals from open play. I mean, that's against the best team in the league. You know, this is no simple feat. It's no easy feat. And just like you said, the standards that Man City set has made the Premier League kind of crazy. Like they're looking to go 4 in a row at this point. They just did the treble last year. So when we can get a result against a team like that, when we can get a result against an Arsenal, when we can beat a team like Tottenham in a 4 or 5 week stretch, that makes me feel good as a fan.
So, where do you guys think? Like after this, I think that this win was huge for you guys, especially at home.
This win.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
this the performance was huge for the team, especially at home, against a team like City. So like, where do you think best case scenario for you guys? Like realistically, like where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself finishing in a European spot?
Yeah, easily. Yeah, because when I look at our team,
damn, Cornelius.
No, I'm serious. When you say European spot, do you automatically mean top 4? Do you mean top 6? Because it is a lot of Europe now.
No, I'll say conference league included.
Yeah, so top 7. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of European spots now. It's not just top 4 anymore. But for me, I've been saying this since the top of the year. We have the players. And Nkunku isn't back yet. He's in training though. Reece James isn't 100%. He's playing 70 minutes though. It's like we still have cats that potentially can change the whole course of our season that haven't even stepped on a pitch yet, or that haven't even been 100% this year yet. So when I look at our team, I'm really happy with where we're going. It's just like I said, Poch has to get us up for the big games. We can't score 4 against Tottenham, score 4 against City, and then we play a team like Brentford and then lose 0-2. You know, like it's those things. The slumps can't be major slumps if we want to go ahead and get a top 5, top 6, top 7 position on the table at the end of the year. So yeah, bro, like, do I think we can get European pedigree? Absolutely, 1000%. I bet you we finish top 7. But when you talk top 3, top 4, possibly not yet, because we haven't had everyone back yet. So I don't know what our full team look like. And I still know that we're a very, very young team with a new manager who we started off very, very poorly. We're starting to get a little bit better, but there are still games. There are still times. I mean, even if we go back to that Tottenham match, down 2 men, they were able to play us extremely well and almost get a result. So for me, when I see things like that, I can't be like, yeah, no, we for sure going to be top 4. But I do think we get European pedigree this year. Absolutely.
Wow. I actually might take that bet that you don't. That's actually crazy. That's a great shout. I don't know if you'll be top 7 at the end of the year.
Because when I look at the teams above us, when I look at a team like Newcastle, when I look at a team like United, when I look at a team like Villa, on paper, they're not better than us. So when we go into these matches, I expect results.
Hold on. What do you mean on paper they're not better than you?
On paper, you guys are not better than us. If you want to go player, if we want to go player for player, I don't think you're better than us.
Let's go brick for brick. Let's go brick for brick. Let's have a blow off, Nick.
Player for player, full strength. You think you have better players than United on paper?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go. I'll give you. Okay. Who's your keeper?
You guys won on the keeper, and I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you that. You guys won.
Oh, Papa said this earlier. I didn't get to show it, but yeah.
I mean, we want to go back line. If you want to go back line,
we got the keeper.
You guys win the keeper. Let's go back line.
Okay, back line. Left back. Who's your left back?
Colwell. You're not.
Levi Colwell.
He wins.
Levi Colwell is your left back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Over Luke Shaw?
I'm taking Colwell. I'm sorry.
I'm taking Colwell too.
I'm taking Luke Shaw, but okay, that's fine.
We haven't seen him play all year.
There's 2 of you guys.
So we're going based off what he did in the past. Cool. And we know who Luke Shaw is.
What? Who was Levi Colwell? You don't even know who Levi Colwell is.
He was the best player on Brighton last year in their defense. Arguably, he was their best defender last year.
So 1 season of Levi Colwell, you're telling me he's better than Luke Shaw?
Yes, my academy youth will lock down your best attacker. Come on.
Okay.
We can go center.
I want that in the chat. Hold on. I want that in the chat. The 1 year of Levi Colwell or Luke Shaw, who do you guys think is better?
I mean, if we're going off history, we'll go off Luke Shaw. But if you look at what Levi Colwell did last year and what he's continuing to do this year, no one's getting right.
Recency bias.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead. We'll take it. Levi Colwell. You guys got it. Center back. Left-sided center back. Who's your left-sided center back?
I mean,
Thiago,
honestly, it depends, but it's usually Thiago Silva.
Okay, I have Lissandro.
I'm not.
So what are we doing here, really? Because are we Thiago Silva? What are we really doing here?
Over the butcher.
38 years old, and he's still playing more games than your young cat. Come on, man.
So what?
Yeah, I'm taking Thiago, bro.
Okay, Varane or who's Disasi?
I'll give you
Varane.
I'll give you Varane.
Sure.
We don't have to argue on that.
Okay.
It doesn't matter who your right back has. Reece James is better than him.
The Wan-Bissaka?
Yes, absolutely. Let's not
even play those games. Let's not play those games.
Let's not do this.
At least, yeah.
Let's not do that one. Let's not argue that one.
When is Reece James fully healthy? Okay. Anyway,
when is your right back fully healthy? None of your right backs can get a good good run in the league. So we know they only good for 5-6 weeks at a time.
Okay, hold on. Let's work our way up.
So now we're in the middle.
Okay.
So now we're in the middle.
I have
6.
Casemiro versus who? Who do you want? Enzo or Caicedo? Who do you want?
I'm taking Uncle Cass. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm taking Uncle Cass.
The other mid is yours.
Okay, so we split the midfield.
Okay. Now is where it gets dicey. Off the left, Mudryk or Rashford? Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm not taking the twerker. So
yeah. Okay.
we can all MBE for sure.
It's not the Mudryk doesn't start.
Stop.
So I mean, now we're talking Sterling, but I'll give you that. If do you want to do Sterling? Because Mudryk does not start for us. He came off the bench in the
Sterling or Rashford. I'm taking Rashford. Thank you.
I still might have to go MBE. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a toss up. It's a toss up.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm going MBE.
I'll let you have Rashford.
Who's your midfielder in the middle? You have Conor Gallagher. I have Bruno.
You can have Bruno.
Thank you. Bruno. And then off the right,
that's Cole Palmer. That's us.
Okay. Cole Palmer.
And then I'm taking CP over everyone on your right side. Anthony, Martial. Who do you want to put out there?
Here is the tiebreaker.
Sancho, we haven't seen you haven't seen anyone on your right side play. Really.
Fine. No, okay, you have the right. You have the right. So right now I have the left, I have the middle, you have the right. Let's see, for the striker, Højlund versus Jackson. Højlund is better than Jackson.
No, if we're going full strength, you're talking Nkunku. And if we want to go Jackson, like we could talk numbers. You ain't talking money. I don't want to talk. We can look at GA. We already have
Nkunku's not playing the 9. Nkunku's not playing the 9. Let's stop it.
Nkunku will play the 9 for us. Absolutely, yes.
No, he's not. He's going to be playing.
He's coming into play as a 9 for us.
The 10. Absolutely. He's playing the 10.
Are you?
Who's going to play the 10? Conor Gallagher? This ain't about.
Conor Gallagher is
talking about.
No,
bro. Nkunku is not playing a 9 role. That man is going to be a 10.
All right,
What are you talking about?
No, okay. It's going to be Enzo.
Every time I say something about my team, you guys act like you know us better, which is crazy. Because we weren't supposed to beat any of the top 4 teams, but when I said we can get a result, y'all looked at me nuts. Nuts. And Nkunku was supposed to play the 9 role for us. Yes, absolutely. In preseason, that's what he was playing. He was playing D9 as our striker.
Jackson's just going to come off the bench?
Hey, that's up for Poch to decide, bro. That has nothing to do with me. I would just like our best 11.
Bro,
I want our manager to put the best 11 on the field that he believes will win us matches.
Yeah,
but Nkunku,
Nkunku
probably will start at the 9.
I think it's going to be Enzo and Caicedo, and then in front of those two will be Nkunku. And in front of him will be Action Jackson. And then it'll be Cole Palmer, Sterling, Mudryk.
The twerker,
the twerker is going to be in there. But So yeah, on paper we definitely have you.
No, you don't.
On paper we definitely have you.
You wait. So you got keeper,
Varane,
one defender. We split the
Pass.
midfield, and then you
Pass,
said
Bruno.
Rashford.
Hoyland's better than Jackson.
I'm
In what
taking
world?
Hoyland over Jackson.
In what
I'm
world
taking
is he better
Hoyland.
than
I'm taking
Jackson?
Hoyland over Jackson.
So okay, that's still
What do you mean,
5.
what
Okay,
world?
so that's still
do you
5. We have 6. So on paper, we're better than you.
What's 6? What's 6? Wait, because you guys said
Levi Colwill,
no, I don't
Thiago
agree
Silva,
with the Levi
Reece James.
Colwill.
No,
The
honestly,
Levi
you
Colwill
just
one,
on.
I don't
We
take
sp-
the Levi Colwill one. I don't believe that one.
See,
I don't even think Mike
see,
was
it's just gonna be up for debate because we not because I don't even want to give you Rashford over Sterling for real. I gave you that because of MBE, and
Cornelius,
Sterling ain't been going
all
off this year.
bullshit aside.
Real
Rashford
talk?
over Sterling. This is not even. I don't think this
Rashford.
This one's not. There's a lot more closer ones than this one here. Rashford and Sterling.
I don't even want to give you Rashford over Sterling. If
a
we want to
toss-up.
look,
I'm
what do you
taking
want to look
MBE
at? You
though.
want to look at a whole body of work. You want to look at the most recent 2 years. You want to look at what do you want to look at? Like, what do you really want to look at? Because I could put Sterling's numbers up. I could put Sterling's rings up. I could put Sterling in the national team up. Like, what are we really talking? I gave that to you out of respect.
That's fair.
But to be honest, I don't really believe it. I really don't. I truly don't believe it. And I don't even like Sterling like that, but I don't think Rashford is better than him by far. No, I'm not going to say that. And that's what I'm saying. When I look at our team on paper, yeah, it's a lot of potential. This is a whole bunch of potential energy. But when I see us play at our best, like these last 2-3 weeks, when I see us play like this, I think we could go up against anyone.
Safe.
We've gone up against the best teams in the league, and we haven't lost yet. So, I mean, we'll see you in 3 weeks. We could talk about it then.
Yeah.
Put a little friendly wager on.
For sure. But speaking of national team Sterling, I kind of want to quickly touch on the England call-ups. At this point, I feel like when it comes to the English national team, I really don't even need to wait for the call-ups to be announced. I think we all have an idea of who's going to be called on there. Guys like, Maguire. Well, Maguire deserves to go, to be fair. Maguire deserves.
I agree.
I would say he deserves to go, but I think guys like Marcus Rashford and Jack Grealish over Sterling, to me, is crazy. It's nice to see guys like Cole Palmer get called up. Rico Lewis, that's nice. It's always good to see, but I don't know, man. Southgate obviously has this thing where, if he rocks with you, he rocks with you. And I don't think that, through thick and thin.
Man, all I gotta say is let Cole Palmer start the matches, bro. Please. Rest Saka, man. Please, God.
Nah, and that's the thing though, Gabriel. Like, who's gonna start. It's gonna be
and it's not even like he's gonna play 67. This guy's gonna play a full 98, however many minutes, bro.
Like,
it's gonna I don't even want to talk about these call-ups. The call-ups don't even honestly, this isn't like a big call-up. I won't say it's not a big call-up, but this isn't like one of I don't feel like it's super important call-up. But yeah, man. So you're right. He rocks with who he rocks with. He likes who he likes. He's gonna start pretty much the same guys if they're healthy every single time. And I know these guys like that. It's an honor to play for your country. So I don't want to take anything away from them, but I just need my guy to rest, bro. He needs to rest, and so I need Cole Palmer to at least get 30 minutes, bro. But yeah, no, like super big surprises. Honestly, Rico Lewis was a surprise to me. But he's a baller. I like that kid. So, I think Pep said it best. His size is like his worst attribute, if I'm being honest. It's just that he's small, but outside of that, the guy is proper, man. Guy is proper.
Yeah, I love to see. Always love to see Tomori on there. I think they need to play him more. Tomori, I think, is one of those players that could be real special. He just needs to get the time. But yeah, other than that, Calvin Phillips, he's another one. I don't know I don't know who he's been paying because he's played less than 90 minutes in the Prem, probably, right?
Who would you take in that spot though in the Prem? Like who's been like what center mid has been? I can't think of another center mid though. To be fair, like who's?
I
And
mean, the midfielders are Trent, Jude, Gallagher, Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, but Jordan Henderson, come on.
I'd rather take Ward Prowse over him.
Yeah, I was gonna say AWP. He's been having a great year too.
He always has good years. Like it was a year that Ward Prowse has been like weak. If I'm being completely honest, the guy he's always been proper to me. To answer your question, Papa, do I think Saka's gonna burn out? It's not even a question of burning out. I just think he's just gonna get injured. It sounds bad, but like I don't even think that's burnout. I think he's just gonna get injured. This guy has some of the most fouls against him. He's constantly playing 90 minutes. You know, the muscles can only take so much. You know, your body can only take so many hits. So for me, it's not even. I don't really think it's burnout. Even people are saying Saka's been poor this season. I mean, I don't see it, but you know, I don't think he's gonna burn out. I just think it's a matter of if he's gonna stay healthy and he's gonna get injured because he's playing. It's a lot of miles on that guy, and he's only 22, but he's been balling out for us since he was 18, 17. So yeah, I don't think he's gonna burn out, but I just pray to God he can stay injured or not stay injured, but stay healthy.
Yeah. Be careful, man. You're gonna end up with a body like Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford's only like 25, but he has the body of like a 35-year-old.
For real. You're walking. I don't need Saka walking.
No, but that's a fair point though, man. It's like so many games. You know, with Southgate, he's gonna play you like full 90 minutes, 90 plus. Good. I mean, like, and it's just like I don't know. At this point, like, I don't know. For me, like with him though, like this has to be like his last like cycle with this English national team, because like if he doesn't win it this time, like this Euros,
yeah, he's got to go.
Like by the time that the next, like what in 2 years, by the next World Cup, like a lot of these guys, like what's Harry Kane gonna look like in 2 years? You know, I don't know.
Right. I think Harry Kane is still gonna be one of those players. The way he plays, and now that he's no longer in England, he doesn't have to get that same wear and tear. I think that'll prolong his his career, but that's funny.
Yeah, man. Man. I feel for him.
Let's get into predictions, man. Well, it's not even predictions.
Yeah, national break. Really.
Dang, man. Any shout outs? I got any shout outs? I got a couple.
This guy's funny.
Yeah, Papa's crazy. I got some shout outs. Shout out Zinchenko, Zada Saliba. But also shout out Vicario, man. A lot of people doubted that man when he came over. And I don't even like anybody on Spurs. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't like anybody on Spurs. I like Madison, Basuma. I like Son for sure. I like Van der Ven. But Vicario has seriously like surprised me. Like the type of, I wouldn't say it's like the same type of come up, but he surprised me like how Aaron Ramsdale surprised me last season. Like I did not expect this guy to be this good, like at all. And he is just proper, man. I really like that guy Vicario. So I just want to give him a shout out because I was not expecting him to have a great start to the season like this, but he has been balling out, just balling out. So shout out Vicario, man.
Yeah. So far, Harry Kane with 17 goals and 5 assists in 11 Bundesliga matches.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, we kind of all knew he was going to do this, but he's going silly. Not to mention Champions League as well. I mean, to be at 22 GA and 11, this guy
you're averaging a goal and assist every game.
Yeah. Like he's going stupid. Like I think it's underrated just because it's Bayern, but he's really going dumb. Like he's going absolutely dumb.
Yeah,
So shout out to
people
him.
are saying that he might beat Lewandowski's record of 41.
Yeah.
And honestly, yeah, he could.
17 and 11 is crazy. Bro.
Those are crazy. Those are honestly crazy. Those are crazy numbers. We're not even like a third. We're a third way through the season. Like,
yeah,
no, I don't know.
So shout out to him. Shout out to Action Jackson and shout out to Cole Palmer.
Yeah, I have no shout outs this week. I have nobody to shout out. Yeah. I couldn't even think of anybody like on the fly. Like I really couldn't even think of anybody. Who on the team? I was like Lindelof. Like I mean, I guess. Yeah, I guess Lindelof.
Young Vic.
Big Vic. You know. But yeah, man. I think who should I shout out? You know what? Not really a shout out, but more of like I guess I think next year I have a feeling that I'm looking at this Bayern team and I think that it's interesting. Sané's about to get an extension, and I think that there's going to be a few players who leave next season. I think one of those players is going to be Alphonso Davies.
Well, I was just thinking that too.
They've been talking to Davies too.
I think he's going to go to Real.
Yep, they've been talking Davies.
They've been talking about how
that left side of Vinny and Davies.
Vinny and Davies.
See you later.
Yeah,
bro.
Let's go pace for pace. Oh,
they're gonna get Mbappe too. So they're gonna be like the fastest counter-attacking team ever. With guys like Valverde and
Jude,
Camavinga, Tchouaméni. Yeah, they're gonna be ready to run. Oh,
like that team is not fair
for the next 10 years, man. So
if Alphonso and Vinny on the same side is,
could you imagine? Like, who do you have to help? Like, you're you
have to have three on that side at all times.
Yeah, we could never
just low block every match.
Yeah, you can never get caught in a 2v1.
It's over. It's a goal instantly, bro. It's a chance of goal at least.
Those counters are not going to be fair. It's like you got 3-4 cats who are the fastest players on the pitch.
For sure.
What do you do?
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Real Madrid, man, keep winning, and they're gonna get Endrick.
Yeah, hey,
Endrick.
That kid,
that's my guy, man. That's my new guy.
That kid is disgustingly good. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to see what he does.
Endrick. I know you've seen the knee tap. The knee tap.
Yeah, that knee tap was
in
sick.
game.
In game.
How do you do that in game?
Yeah. Bro, the awareness
is insane.
Just to even pull that off, like
full
speed too. He was going full speed.
But you talk about for him, like the game is that slowed down for him that he's able to make a move like that. And
at 17 years old.
And then I know you saw the shot power on the one video.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the net was like
yeah, no, that kid's special. That kid is special.
Yeah, it was moving. But
if Arda could stay healthy too.
Arda.
Yeah. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Like
Hala Madrid, man, for sure.
That's for shout out, Hala Madrid.
Yeah, I do got the flag. Where's the flag? I can get the flag somewhere, but yeah, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, and as always, good luck to you.